Hello everyone, this is Moontide here, and here I just want to bring you my first video game spotlight. Just a few quick words about a game in my collection that comes straight from my life, and just want to give you a few reflections on it. Today, the game that I want to reflect on is Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2. This game is a very special game to me because I got it in my 10th grade year, I believe, and I was having a lot of challenges with school and life that year as an awkward teenager, but I remember that this game was a really bright spot. The reason it was a bright spot is that it pulled me into a world that was radically different than anything I'd experienced in gaming before. This world looked like it was drawn by a 9-year-old with really good artistic skills, but it also looked like it was animated for them by adults. And on top of that, you were able to ride a dinosaur and throw eggs at a 45-degree angle to solve puzzles and defeat enemies. It was wild at the time. And I remember at that time in my life, when I was able to be pulled into this world, I was just mesmerized at how everything meshed so well. The sounds, the visuals, the music, everything was able to convince me that I was in a world that was a dream of some sort. And I'll always be thankful for Nintendo being able to just have the creative energy to move forward with something like this, particularly at that time in my life. The way I felt when I first experienced the game was, I remember comparing it to everything I'd played before that was a Mario game. Super Mario World, Super Mario Bros. 3. And as I was comparing it to those things, it dawned on me that this was like nothing I'd ever played before, really. So I felt like I was being immersed in a dream. Somebody's dream that they were able to remember and animate accordingly. This was, just a concept that I thought was phenomenal at the time, and a lot of people did too. It's a fantastic game. It didn't really remind me of too many other stories or movies. I did feel like I was in a type of story that maybe was, like a child having a dream when they're a baby, but they are actually remembering it, you're actually experiencing it, and they're being carried to safety by a dinosaur like Mario is in the game. But I haven't really been able to connect the dots between this and another game or movie specifically. There were bits and pieces of it, and there were groundbreaking games that were coming out at the time in the 16-bit era. On the Sega Genesis side, you had Vector Man, you had Comic Zone, and on the Super Nintendo side, you had Donkey Kong Country, you had this. So there were games that were really pushing the boundaries of not just mechanics, but style and visual design of games at the time. And I just feel privileged to have lived through that time in gaming in that era. The game's highly recommended, no matter if you've played it or not, no matter how old you are. It's absolutely phenomenal, and I think it's on the Virtual Console of the Switch. So please feel free, check it out. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, absolutely phenomenal game. And that's today's video game spotlight from Moontide's Game Cave.